feels like the internet is really picking apart and debating the idea of the death of the console wars.
Ha ha, I thought I told you fanboys, man, but I thought PlayStation and Microsoft had my back, man. Now it's the death of the console war. What are we gonna talk about now? Oh no, I see it now. Gaming is dead. They trying to appeal to these new age gamers and these casuals, man. I should have known what all that Fortnite, NBA 2K, and inevitably Grand Theft Auto 6. Video gaming is over.
Because historically,
I should have went retro. I should have listened to Gamester the Gaming Moses. Why was I against this prophet? Oh no, now retro gaming is going up. Now I can't even emulate because Microsoft coming with things in place to stop it with cloud gaming.
Have been a major motivator to a lot of innovation.
It had more to do with the fact that you people can't fanboy no more, man. Nobody want to hear this. Oh, it had a lot of innovations as to what? No. Innovating in what? The new fanboy topics that you guys decide to use in your upcoming videos? To be honest with you, I'm quite happy that it's finally over, Dreamcast guy. But guess what? I guarantee you by the end of this video, you'll be having another one next week called Xbox is Dead Yet Again. I mean, come on, man. I swear Xbox has came back to life more than Jason Voorhees has in Friday the 13th. Xbox takes over Manhattan. Like, what? Xbox goes to hell. Like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, at this point, you might as well turn this into a movie.
Price drops to a lot of crazy cool exclusives. I mean, especially if you think back just a couple generations to something like, I don't know, something like the 6th generation. When we first saw that rise of the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, really just that first push into HD graphics, or even before that, Dreamcast versus GameCube versus Xbox versus PlayStation 2.
Well, that's not how it is anymore, man. Sorry to break it to you little dinosaurs, but now you guys are finally extinct. I told you, the gaming market don't care about any of you fools, man. They're trying to cater to the new age gamer, the casuals, the ones, the ones that don't complain about $100 price tags and microtransactions. Yeah, they're trying to appeal to them. They no longer care about you, man. Your service has already been provided, and guess what? They know you suckers are going to still buy into this. Oh, I can't stand the way gaming is, But with the concept of the way you people act, if you can't beat them, well, join them.
Which debatably had some of the best RPGs ever made, on top of some of the first real online shooters and stuff. I don't know, I'm thinking about it today because a lot of people are saying that the console wars are done. That PlayStation has completely dominated, or that Nintendo Switch 2 is about to completely take over the market, or that Xbox at this point is now
It's so funny that they got to start the new year by saying that console wars is over, man. There goes all his content. Yeah, I mean, you people had nothing. That's what it is, man. You guys wanted to keep this going for as long as you guys can remember. Because you know why? You want to sell people on a false hope and a pipe dream. At the end of the day, I've called this from the very beginning. What dialogue, what conversations are you people having? I've had these several years ago, and people in the comment section can say the same thing. We all seen the writing on the wall. The only ones that didn't seem to see that happens to be, should I say it, the fanboys.
A brand that even third party is surprisingly powerful. But I wanted to talk about it today because upon reflection, I kind of feel like the console wars are over, but I feel like only the gamers are losing.
Oh, we're losing. No, the fanboys are losing, and guess what? I'm happy about it. You guys no longer can come out with this console war garbage that you guys have been pushing for the past decade, that he probably would say. We're all good. At the end of the day, yes, gaming will never be like the golden age, but it wasn't even like that even when you fanboys was fanboying for these pieces of plastic. But we know you guys are going to find another reason to say that Xbox is dead, even though their new hardware has been confirmed. But go ahead.
Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please, consoles start selling. I basically called it years ago saying that, look, Xbox has to put more and more games on PlayStation specifically.
And PlayStation has to put more games on PC specifically. Because they don't.
PS5 is way more out there. It's way higher selling.
PC gaming is way more out there.
Way more dedicated fan base that's used to
way more dedicated fan base. We'd go as far to say that Helldivers 2 did better on PC. Stellar Blade also did better on PC than it did on Sony. Yes, PlayStation is doing the same exact thing. Third party
games. Xbox really put themselves into a hole. But a lot of people felt like, specifically this year, seeing Gears of War go to PlayStation, that was completely wild. I mean, I bought it and played a bunch of this.
A 20-year-old game, 20-year-old game going to PlayStation. This is what's miraculous for you guys, really? This just shows you how bad gaming has become, to the point where they got to put an old game on PlayStation 5 and you people run into the store to pick it up. That's what's embarrassing to me. The fact that you got Microsoft pushing out games that came out, 19, 20 years ago, and you people buying them like it's the hardest thing in the world. I thought Xbox had no games.
Fine, but even the fact that now the next Halo, the remake of Halo 1, that being on the PlayStation 5, I mean, people are putting cuck memes all over the place. It just shows that Games Pass was not sustainable.
Well, clearly exclusives are not sustainable if PlayStation is putting their games on PC. Clearly Sony's live service, their subscription strategy is not good. That's why those games are even dropping potentially on Xbox, like Marathon. You know, clearly there's a lot of things not going on here correctly. And as to why these companies are expanding, but yet let's just make it seem as if Xbox is the only company doing it.
And I do think that in a lot of ways, the difference in tactics is part of the reason I feel like the console wars has been such a messy circumstance with this generation, right? Whereas PlayStation has really kind of doubled down on just being the best place to play. But
no, that would be PC, because you can have the full access of emulation, Xbox, PlayStation games all through Steam, good old games, and have all these launchers. I would go as far to say that PC is the best to play for video gaming in general. And free online multiplayer. Let's not forget that also.
Necessarily those big exclusives. I mean, historically, what's really kind of sold, especially stuff like the Nintendo Switch and stuff like the PlayStation 4, was crazy exclusives, right? Here's Horizon Zero Dawn. Here's Breath of the Wild. Those things that instantly...
But that was before the whole free-to-play craze came into the scene. Because let's not forget, guys, when those games was being promoted, free-to-plays did not really exist. Fortnite was at its infancy stage. Let's not forget, from Save the Earth, and then they did the the Battle Royale mode, then PUBG started coming out. I've already seen this shift there. Matter of fact, I go as far to say that I've seen it with the Warframe back in 2013. And when I used to talk to my buddies, I'm like, yo, I said, if they keep making these free games like this that you don't have to pay for, then this is going to conflict with games that people go out there and spend money on. And we all agreed. That was several years before you guys even thought that free-to-plays would even take over the gaming industry. I knew that would be a fundamental problem. I have a friend that still plays Warframe to this day. To this day.
You look at it and go, yes, I want to play that. I want to buy a system to play that. Whereas this gen, PlayStation's strategy has very clearly just been sit back and let everybody else put out games. All right, we have.
There you go. You just answered your own question. So if that's what PlayStation is doing, then why the hell would I buy a PlayStation 5 when I can get the benefits of playing the same games on Xbox through a Game Pass subscription service and have the whole catalog of games? What are you talking? Oh yeah, PlayStation just sitting back. Yeah, you know why they're sitting back? Because they don't have to do anything. It's so funny that you guys are giving credit. This is how you know fanboys are not good for gamers. You guys are literally giving credit to Sony for not doing anything. But just because it sold 84 million consoles shipped, then that's the culprit, you see? But when it comes down to the fun and entertainment, you're all getting those from third-party games and Xbox games. We all know PlayStation 5 ain't nothing but a glorified Xbox Series P. I told you guys from the very beginning, games to win another W, because I always get these things correctly.
PlayStation 5, we got the PlayStation 5 Pro. We're the best place to play. Whether it is first party, third party,
you don't have no first party. Your first party is even on PlayStation 4. Gran Turismo, God of War Ragnarok, your new games that you've had for PS5 happen to be PS4 games. What?
To buy our system. It's where everybody is gaming. It's where all the online stuff is at. You gotta come to our playhouse. And it's interesting that strategy has worked surprisingly well, at least to my point of view. Whereas There was this very controversial put up by GameSpot. Technically, it's getting downvote bombed into a crater, but their conclusion is that Nintendo won the console war. And
How could they win the console war if they don't even have a home console? Nintendo was one of the first out of the big three to leave the home console gaming industry. What are you guys talking about? See, here we go. Like I said, y'all gonna see me defend Sony because this makes absolutely no sense. The Switch 2, yes, it is a console, but it's a portable console. It's not a home console. I mean, you could play the portable console and play it at home, but you could do that with a Nomad. You could do that with a Steam Deck. At the end of the day, it's built like a portable console, so therefore that is the market of what that platform is in, regardless if you could dock it on a TV. Okay? But when it comes down to a set-top box like Xbox and PlayStation 5, the Switch 2 is not in that same market. So which also means that to say that Nintendo Switch 2 ended the console war makes absolutely no sense. Because it's not even a home console. It's a portable console. If that's the type of logic we're using, then the Game Boy won. You know, like bro, you can't do this. It's a portable console, so therefore it has nothing to do with ending the quote-unquote console war. If anybody ended it, was you fanboys and the free-to-play gamers.
The thought is that Nintendo is the only company at this point that still has exclusives. I mean, it's pretty much undeniable. Every game, even if you absolutely love your PlayStation, a lot of those games go to PC. There's already leaks about Ghost of Yotei, which was one of my favorite games of last year. Ghost of Yotei looks incredible in the PS5 Pro, and you know what? It's going to look way better on a PC. Obviously, PC graphics scale infinitely higher, right? That's already known to be coming to PC. So a lot of people are saying that really the final console, in a way, is the Nintendo Switch.
No, it's not. It's not even a home console, though. You guys know what I'm saying. Don't play, but it is a console. Don't play that game with me, okay? You guys are way too smart to be having these arguments. It is a portable console, so therefore, it is not in the traditional scheme of an Xbox, Wii U, or PlayStation 4 or 5. You guys know that. Let's stop the cap. Nintendo was one of the first out of the big three to leave home consoles permanently to focus on the Nintendo Switch 2, which they clearly made a hybrid with. You guys know this. Stop the damn cap, man. You know how many Nintendo fanboys have to explain this? They're acting like the Wii U never existed. Like you guys act like, it's a portable console that can be played at home. I guess the PSP won then. Because I could take the PSP and play it on the damn TV. Or the Sega Nomad. Like, you guys got to get out of here with this lousy logic, man. At the end of the day, the console war is over because nobody cares about your exclusive games. That's why. And all these Nintendo fanboys want to say, oh, yes, they did. Well, if they care so much, then how come they didn't care enough to buy them on a home console? We already know Nintendo has always been successful in portable. Using that as an excuse is not a good excuse for me because they've always dominated in portable. You know what I'm saying? You can't even use that as a proper excuse. But let's not lie to ourselves, guys, that if the Switch 2 was nothing but a home console, similar to what the Wii U was, nobody would have bought it. That's what you have to look into consideration. But you Nintendo fanboys don't want to do that because you're no different than these PlayStation ponies.
But that's kind of funny because in a lot of ways, the Nintendo Switch 2 sales, I still feel like have not been as high as Nintendo wanted. In fact, this is the Black Friday sales. And a lot of the holiday sales, it's kind of odd. The Nintendo Switch 2 ended up really coming in, well, according to this one especially, this is during November. During the Black Friday sale, you can see that the Nintendo Switch 2 got outsold by the PS5 almost 2-1.
Yeah, that's because PlayStation 5 was actually offering... Actually, I think PlayStation was the only company really offering deals on consoles, games, and accessories. Xbox and Nintendo Switch 2 surely didn't. So it's pretty obvious to me as to why the PS5 did good during that month of November and the holiday season, because they were the only ones doing discounts. At least from what I remember.
Why? Now, that's just according to public data. It could be off. Obviously, the PlayStation 5 outsold them 16-1. Pretty funny. But my point is the fact that PlayStation is clearly trying to do a different tactic. They're trying to almost be the normie device. Oh, you want to play Call of Duty? You want to play Minecraft? You want to play anything, right? You have to come to PlayStation. Whereas almost...
No, I don't. I can go to PC. I can go to Xbox. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, I can go to any platform I want besides Nintendo. Would you guys say that is ended the console? Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 ended the console. Well, that's why you're not getting Grand Theft Auto 6. You'll be even lucky enough to get Grand Theft Auto 5 for crying out loud. Like man, listen, and we already know the gaming world doesn't go around due to your Nintendo exclusives and your little Kirby Air Riders. The gaming landscape goes around the world when it's third party. GTA 6, NBA 2K, Madden, you know the list of games, Fortnite. That is what's changing the shift of gaming. Not some lousy Kirby Air Riders riding around. I'm not saying the game's bad. I'm just using it for an example because you Nintendo fanboys, y'all been coping too. Y'all been coping.
I feel like Nintendo is very much, I almost feel like, narrowing their focus a bit. Hey, do you want the best portable device of all time? Do you want to have stuff that, yes, is more expensive? Yes, we have $80 games and $100 controllers, but...
And let's not forget $200 memory cards, too. It's so funny that you guys, Nintendo fanboys, want to bash the PlayStation Vita for having overly expensive memory cards, but yet they have no problem paying for them on Nintendo Switch, too. I told you, the hypocrisy.
Hey, our $500
micro espresso
system is
That's
tablet that can play crazy third-party, first-party stuff with AAA graphics on the go. And I do think that is going to do...
What AAA games do they got besides Cyberpunk? Like, I mean, you got to ask yourself, Nintendo Switch hasn't dropped really... We already know Nintendo don't do AAAs. The only AAA game was Cyberpunk, and that's a game that came out on PS4, for crying out loud. Street Fighter 6? What are you talking about? That game's a PS4 game. You don't need a Switch 2 to play this.
Good in the long run, but I still feel like trying to just say that Nintendo won immediately is a bit funny. Nintendo always wins. Not even close. They have the Wii U and then the Switch 2. A lot of people are basically like, hardcore pony fanboys won't like to hear that. I love that. But I almost think that, to me, we all have to admit the fact that Xbox obviously is just, at this point, the console war is purely just PlayStation versus Nintendo. Xbox is gone.
I mean, you gotta understand that Xbox is outselling Nintendo because Nintendo don't have a home console. They don't even have a home console to compete. You cannot use a portable console and use it as an argument. Because if that is the case, then we could have done that with the Game Boy what we could have done. You know what? Let's hit the ballistics. Well, Nintendo beat the PlayStation 1. What are you talking about? Nintendo beat them. Because you gotta add the Game Boy as well. The Game Boy sold well. But that's a different market though, Game Boy. No, but it sold well. Okay, I thought we was focusing on the Sega Saturn N64 and PlayStation 1. Where does the Game Boy have anything to do with this? It's a different market altogether. We need to count that, and if you count those sales, it's the same as the PlayStation 1. All right, you know what, man? I'm done.
The worst year. Sales down by nearly 40%. Now, keep in mind, the year before that, sales were down 28%. The year before that, common circumstance. A $7,000 PC is unforgivably expensive, right? Woo! Even if you don't like the price of like a PlayStation 5 Pro, if you get all the bells and whistles, tax included, shipped to your house, right now PS5 Pro is like $800.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? That's closer to $1,000.
And the thing is, a PlayStation 5 Pro looks pretty dang good. It doesn't look as good as a $7,000 PC, but a lot of people used to, if a really good PC cost
it barely even looks any better than an Xbox Series X.
$2,500, it's easier to go, okay, I'm sort of future-proofing. I'm roughly getting the power of a PlayStation 6.
You're not future-proofing anything because the system is still gatekeeped to the PlayStation 5. What are you talking about? That makes absolutely no sense. What are you talking about? Consoles stopped getting supported after the few years. Look no further than the One X. You know how they sold the One X as a mid-gen refresh and then abandoned it with the Series S? That's what a lot of these upgrades are.
Right now, for the price of like 2 PlayStation 5 Pros. But this, 8 times the cost, that's way too much. And my fear is that there's this thought about the fact that premium gamer experiences. My fear is the fact that these companies are going to start jacking up the prices of everything more and more to figure out what the actual limit is. I feel like
the limit is cloud gaming.
These companies now, Sony especially, Nintendo especially, they're really trying to just figure out, okay, how much can we turn up before you quit? How expensive can we make a video game before you stop buying it? Can we get you to pay $100, $110, $120? How much can we turn it up to make our profit per player higher before that just starts to dip
See,
back
this
in?
wouldn't have been a problem if more people just jumped into the hobby of gaming. This is why I tried to tell you, as popular as you guys think gaming is, it has not advanced. There's not any new players. That's just the honest reality. It's the same 300 million players that have been playing. Matter of fact, we get some and then we lose some, right? That's usually what happens. And to be honest with you, these free-to-play gamers are the only ones helping with that. Because if you take out those key markets, we have so many less gamers now. Okay, there's more gamers playing on Candy Crush than playing all three of your consoles together. I know that hurts, doesn't it? I know that honestly hurts. But hey, that is the honest reality. Okay, you got more gamers playing on mobile, and I'm telling you, that is the market that Nintendo is even going to go after too.
Yeah, and I think the first place we're going to experience that is hardware. I do think there's a good chance that this year the PlayStation 5 is going to go up to $1,000. I want to be wrong more than anything on the planet.
Well, that's good because that means when I want to sell it, they got to give me more money for it. So I mean, I'm only paying $500 for the damn thing. Well, maybe not for the PlayStation fanboys that bought one at launch from scalpers.
You truly think, with just the way tech trends are going, a $1,000 PS5 price increase, it isn't impossible. It's an actual bit on the table. So my thought about the console wars is that the person that manages to win it is going to be the person that finds a way to get prices down. And I'm not just talking about...
Because if you get a price down box, unless you're saying that they have to subsidize, they're not going to subsidize. Because there's not enough of you guys buying their own independent games. That's why I told you guys, buy your own games. Stop buying Xbox games on PS5. All you're doing is helping Microsoft in the end. You guys are dumb. There's not enough of you guys. That's all it is.
Subsidizing. I'm not just talking about taking...
Well, they're going to have to subsidize because there's no other way they're going to be able to drive the hardware down.
I think the first company that figures out a way to, I don't know, make their own factories, make back-end deals to get this stuff down, or
they're not, because they've never done that for consoles in the first place.
AI bubble just finally popping. I've said this again and again and again. But at this point, I don't think people care that much about graphics. I don't think people even really care that much about exclusives.
Oh, you know the ponies, man. Oh, they hee-hawing with that one.
I've said this again and again and again. But at this point, I don't think people care that much about graphics. I don't think people even really care that much about exclusives. I think people care about fun, and I think they care about affordability. The first console, or even the first gadget, we're even talking like the Steam machine, even like a pre-built PC, the first one that managed to have even halfway decent graphics for under $5.
It doesn't matter. Because people, at the end of the day, the reason why people don't want the Steam machine because it's weaker than the PS5. The only way that's going to happen is if they subsidize the hardware, which means essentially they take a loss on it, which we already know that's not going to happen. What Microsoft is, just so you guys understand the strategy, what Microsoft is doing, they're also contributing to this. They are. So you guys, if you want to hate Microsoft for anything, hate them for at least this, because that's what they're doing, including all these other companies. They are raising the prices by buying up all these RAM shortages and all that for their AI so they can push cloud gaming. So the whole native experience that you people have, you will become a cloud gamer. You want that premium experience? Well, this is what you guys wanted. You wanted PC gaming in your hand. This is what you guys advocated for. PS5 Pro, Super Spectral. Well, there you go. Now you got to support the devs for real, right? If you want that notable gaming experience. And cloud gaming will be the new broke man's gaming. That's all it is. Cloud gaming will be for the new broke man that can't afford to buy games, but could afford to pay $20 to $30 to stream them through any device. No different than Netflix.
$100, especially if it's like $450, $400, $350. That's going to be what wins the console.
It's not happening. It's not happening. And it's not happening in today's... I mean, you got to think about it. There's people paying $1,000 for phones. Even that is quite shocking. So you got to consider that only console gaming, especially considering that they use very similar technology, was only going to be inevitable.
So right now, in the current era, I'm almost kind of afraid. I kind of feel like gamers are losing because at this point, I feel like My fear about gaming in general is that while we are still getting amazing experiences, there has been some amazing indies and stuff.
Yeah, we're getting so many good, amazing experiences that we got Kratos over here cradling an old Xbox 360 game in his hands. That's how good gaming has been getting, guys. Gaming has gone so good for PlayStation that they look at this man's face, that they out here grasping for straws at this point. They know that their own PlayStation ain't got nothing, so they're like, I've always hated you for this long, but since PlayStation 5 has nothing for me to play, I would rather play a 19, 20-year-old game from Xbox. You look at this. This is the ultimate betrayal.
I'm in this scared spot where I keep thinking about the fact that what happens when everything just gets priced down? What if
cloud gaming? That's what's going to happen. And this is what we've been trying to tell you. Gamester with another W.
Everything gets too dang expensive. I think at that point, everyone's going to go back to retro gaming, because at this point, at least you can play these games for cheap.
Are you serious? Retro gaming is cheap? Retro gaming is more expensive than what the hell you complain? Yo, I can't.
Down.
Bro, I can't,
everything
bro.
gets too dang expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I think at that point, everyone's going to go back to retro gaming.
Man, put that controller down.
So at this point, at least you can play these games for cheap.
You can play those games for cheap, man. We know we got a bunch of old school dudes, man. They gonna laugh at you in the comment section after what you said. Retro gaming is cheap? Bro, that is a luxury. I could understand if you said immolation.
Everything gets priced down. What if everything gets too dang expensive? I think at that point, everyone's going to go back to retro gaming, because at this point, at least you can play these games for cheap.
You can play it. Go buy a copy of Little Samson. Go buy a copy of Project Justice. Go buy a physical copy to any of these games. Some of the most expensive games that you can find. You tell me if retro gaming is cheap. I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe this is too bleak.
Go pick up a sealed copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga, and you see how cheap retro gaming is, man. You got a Sega Saturn game that costs more than your goddamn PlayStation 5 Pro. Ain't nobody want to hear this, man. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoy this video, man. Make sure you guys share it around, like the video. You guys know. Thank you guys. We're starting this new year with a bang, as you guys can see. And as of right now, the console war has been officially over. Gamester with another W, baby.